The so-called Doomsday Cult Mom, Lori Vallow Daybell. This is a woman who right now is behind bars in Rexburg, Idaho. Why? Because she won't tell anyone where her children are. It's that simple. This is a mother who, if she just told the judge or told authorities where her children are, she would probably be released tomorrow. But she has said nothing about it, and it's raised an incredible level of suspicion about her and her new husband. But what also raises suspicions about Lori Vallow Daybell and her new husband, Chad Daybell, is the fact that both of them have dead spouses. Ted Rowlands has more tonight.
In red lipstick and stripes, Lori Vallow Daybell made her last court appearance in Idaho for charges related to her two missing children, Tylee and JJ. But her next appearance could be in the state of Arizona, answering to charges connected to the death of her ex-husband, Charles Vallow. This is body cam video of Lori on July 11th, 2019, the day Charles Vallow was shot and killed in her Arizona home.
How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
At the time, Lori told police that her brother, Alex Cox, the man sitting on the curb, killed Charles in self-defense, saying that her ex-husband had attacked Alex with a baseball bat and that Alex had no choice except to shoot Charles to save himself and Lori. It was the same story that Alex told police.
I turned around and he hit me in the back of the head with a bat. So I went to my room and got my gun.
Police didn't charge Alex, believing he acted in self-defense. Lori's daughter, Tylee, was also there that day, and she backed up her mother and Alex's story. Now, 9 months later, Lori's brother, Alex, is also dead. Tylee has been missing since September, and police in Chandler, Arizona, may be getting close to arresting Lori. According to Fox 10 in Phoenix, this email was sent by Nathan Price, one of the lead detectives investigating Charles Vallow's death. Sent to an unidentified individual, the email says in part, "We continue to work on Charles's case and are confident we are getting closer to getting Lori indicted for her involvement in Charles's death. My phone is always on, and I'm here to answer any questions or discuss any concerns you have. Thanks, Nathan."
It certainly seems that they do have her in their crosshairs. There's no question about that. When you look at it, when you step back and you look at this entire case, everybody, I think, with any common sense would think she's involved in this. She's behind this. She either was the perpetrator of the killings, the murders, or she was involved somehow. She paid someone to do it. She cajoled someone to do it.
While they won't comment about the email, in a statement to Court TV, Chandler, Arizona police say Lori is a strong lead in this investigation. Meanwhile, in Idaho, detectives are looking into Lori's possible connection to the death of 49-year-old Tammy Daybell. She reportedly died in her sleep in October of last year. 11 days after Tammy was found dead in her home, her just-widowed husband, Chad Daybell, married Lori Vallow on a beach in Hawaii. And we now know that the wedding ring Lori is wearing in this photo while smiling in Chad's arms was apparently purchased by Lori herself 17 days before Tammy was found dead. This Amazon receipt obtained by East Idaho News shows that Lori Vallow was using her dead ex-husband Charles' Amazon account when she ordered the size 4 ring on October 2nd.
I still don't really understand why she'd be buying the ring for herself, but that's on her. Off Amazon, that's on her. But that's what it sounds like to me, is that she was ready to move in as soon as their plan was executed.
Investigators have exhumed Tammy Daybell's remains as part of the ongoing investigation into her death, but at this point, no charges have been filed. And there's still no sign of Lori's children, 17-year-old Tylee and 7-year-old JJ. These new billboards asking for the public's help and offering a reward are now up in Idaho Falls. The hope is that her children are somehow still alive, despite the bodies piling up in Lori Vallow's wake.
It's really an unreal story when you think about it. And it all started, right, because 2 children were missing, but you've got now a pile of bodies around it. Ted Rowlands is with us tonight. Ted, let's talk first about the dead spouses, because this is, I mean, all right, children go missing. Okay, we get that. But at the same time, now 2 people are marrying each other after both of their spouses recently die.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to, Vinny, this attraction that Daybell and Vallow have for not only each other, but for this cult, this idea that the end of the world is coming at the end of July. Those two connected, and those two, I believe, know a lot about all of these dead bodies and those missing children. And I think at the core of it is this distorted, just disgusting belief that they are now somehow doing God's will by whacking people that they love, and that in the end, they're going to be rewarded in some disgusting way.
Well, let's go to the death of Charles Vallow, because this is the one, we're talking about Arizona, folks in Chandler, Arizona, maybe close to bringing some charges here against Lori Vallow. That was a shooting by her brother. So it seems like if they do charge her with something, how do you make that connection? If he is the one who physically shoots her, he's dead now also, but how are they going to make that connection to her? I mean, he's not going to testify against her, so the evidence has to come from somewhere.
Yeah, and you wonder what the evidence is that is being described in this email, or if it's true or not, because what could they have? They can't, there's no eyewitnesses unless Tylee shows up, but then you have to think about maybe there is some sort of trail, some sort of forensic trail that they left, either text messages or emails or something that was involving Lori and involving the plot to kill Charles Vallow. That would be the only thing realistically that could stick here, because the eyewitness account, one would think, really isn't viable, at least for the shooting itself. Now, someone else may have information that is part of this cult or part of this group that could lead towards that, but a very tough conviction. What's the charge going to be, et cetera? But that email sure seems to dictate that folks there in Arizona, the investigators, believe they've got something on Lori.
Sure, but you really make a great point here, talking about witnesses, right? If we think about it, who could have potentially implicated Lori Vallow if she was, and she hasn't been charged, and we don't know, but people that were there. Alex Cox, her brother, dead. Tylee, her daughter, missing. I mean, those are two, and people are saying, okay, the witnesses are all gone to that killing. And what does that mean? Is that evidence in and of itself? So really mysterious, but very suspicious, the way everyone surrounding that shooting gone.
Yeah. What's unclear in this is how many other people are involved in this doomsday cult theory. Who's in this circle? How many of them are there? That really is the only hope for Tylee and JJ, right? If there is a group that's large enough, like the Warren Jeffs offshoot, they have tons of people there. They could theoretically be holding these kids. Either you're just taking care of them or in some fashion. That's the hope, really, that they could be alive because of this distorted cult. It sounds ridiculous, but really I think that is what the family members that are hoping for that's what they're holding on to, that maybe this cult that is at the root of it all could also maybe saving those 2 kids.
Yeah, this whole case starts because JJ, one of the children, his grandpa called authorities and they wanted a welfare check done. Let's take a listen to what Grandpa had to say.
I don't care what the judicial system does or doesn't do to Lori, but I do care about what has happened to Tylee and to JJ. I guess all of y'all are aware of the fact of how much I love that little boy. He is my heart. He is my grandson. Tylee is not my blood, but I love her just like she's mine. Tylee is welcome in our home at any time. If Tylee chooses to come live with us, she will be welcome, and she will be a part of our family. That's all we're asking for, is just where are the kids?
And in this search, Ted, there's some new billboards that are up now, right?
Yeah, outside of Idaho Falls, and that is this is a great sign that the hope is still there and the search efforts are still there. The FBI is coordinating this effort with all the other jurisdictions that are involved because this spans across several states, and they really are hoping for the public's help in trying to locate these two missing children. It's just a heartbreaker to think that this mother knows where they are and she will not cooperate.
She had a podcast. She's a podcaster, like Seema and I. You
Yeah.
know that? Lori Vallow-Daybell's a podcaster. Let's take a listen to that podcast, though.
We're gathering together as saints, as brothers and sisters, and preparing for the second coming of Christ. We want to be there together, and we want to be there strong together. And we appreciate Jason and his warrior ethos because it applies to everybody in their life. You know, we're mothers with lots of children. We're sisters, we're aunts, we're daughters, we're friends.
You know, Ted, she says we're mothers, but this is a mother, and how I began this whole saying, this is a mother who won't tell authorities where her children are. That's why she's locked up tonight.
Yeah, and you wonder to what extent she has been either brainwashed by Daybell or just attracted to this scenario. I mean, the other side note is it's disgusting to think that those two are thinking, oh, this COVID-19, we knew it. It's ridiculous, and it's horrible, and it's the root of all of this, I believe, this demented belief that somehow these two are going to be standing there for the second coming and shepherding in, and that they may have been killing their friends and family members, even their own children, possibly, we hope not, because of this distorted view.